What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and today we're going to be answering some questions that have been getting asked by a lot of people. Obviously, at this point, you guys should all know that the Journey Master for Series 1 is going to be Michael Thomas. The issue about Michael Thomas, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks about whether you should sell him, what you should do with him, because I just recently got him. Alright, so pretty much you need 125 stars inside of that actual promo with the Journey. Remember, guys, all of the stars, they go towards MUT Master, but for each section, you have to complete those missions in that section to get whatever the reward is. So for Journey right now, it's Michael Thomas at 125. If you do all 200, you get more bonus stuff. Let's take a look at his card, because the overall is very, very deceptive. Obviously, with the way the game is played, if you look at his deep route run, medium, short, all the stuff, you see all those 80s? That is absolutely huge in Madden 20. So usually I would tell you he's garbage because he's slow, whatever like that. But this guy can get open on a lot of different corners. For instance, like a guy like Jalen Ramsey, Mel Blount, he can get open. Like regardless of what he's doing, because he has the attributes. Not only that, he's at that tier 2 that's above 85 and just below the 90 tier. So when you look at the overall, he has everything that's there. It's just that, he's a little bit slower. The other thing that really should try to make you not quick sell him is he's only going for 640 training. So what I'm going to urge you guys to do is probably use him a little bit and see how he works. The reason that I know that he's good is because when you compare him, right, to Julio Jones, I already know what Julio Jones does. For instance, if I put Julio on a wheel route, he'll get open super fast. If I put a bum with 70s and 60s with the medium and all that kind of route running stuff, when they're trying to do the little cut in to do the wheel, they'll pause, they'll do stupidness, they'll get bumped. What you'll notice is, especially when people are playing a lot of cover 2 with the cloud flats, these players now, they can get above it relatively easy with the wheel route. Last year in Madden 19, one of the biggest issues that I had that I raged about, it still happens a little bit in this game. The cloud flats will keep bumping you all the way up the field, and sometimes it'll pause your movement. They've kind of toned it down, but it's still there. So you have to be careful with it. All right, so when you look at these numbers, if you have a Julio Jones, just remember, when you power up Michael Thomas, he's one step slower, okay, with speed as far as it goes. You see, Julio Jones is at an 84. Michael Thomas is at an 82, but if you power him up from base, he's going to go to an 83 speed. Not only that, when you look at the acceleration, right, he has a faster acceleration than Julio Jones. Some other things that I wanted to point out about Michael Thomas, he has some really good, like, what is that? The juke move. His juke move is an 80 also. You see the spin move 70, stiff arm 74. They're pretty much like decent. Like these are lower level tiers, but it's pretty decent for the wide receiver position. Because you got to remember, these are possession, like big body, vertical threat, type players. These are big dudes. So they're not like the little small Rosses and, a guy like Tyreek Hill that's going to have a little bit more of the juke move and stuff like that. These guys are big body receivers. So you have to keep that in mind as you go on with it. So when you look at my squad, right now, I just want to let you guys know, I'm currently waiting for them to release an exchange set so that I can get rid of Herman Moore. Because this was one of the biggest mistakes, and I put it out in the video a while ago, like, yo guys, this guy right here is a mistake at this point in the game. Maybe later on he might be a glitch and be better, but Shazier is probably the best route to go with. So as soon as they put out an exchange set, I'm going right to Shazier. Plus, I'm overusing wide receivers. I don't need this guy right now. And initially, I thought that he would be a lot better to start because everybody was kind of trash at the beginning of the year, but he wasn't doing nothing, even with his base stats. And I know, granted, he's an 80, but he's not worth it. Especially with the fact that these guys, like Michael Thomas and Julio Jones, has such high OVRs. It's very, very important that you understand it's a reason why EA Sports is making his training 670. It's something about that number that just makes me know it doesn't make any sense to sell him. That's one of the major tips that I wanted to give you guys. When something looks ridiculous, it is ridiculous. There is no way possible that you would get rid of a card like this for 640 training. It doesn't make any sense. You might as well look and explore and try to see what you can do with him and see if he can be useful in your offense. Now, there are several things you can do. I'm going to evaluate some things. Some of you guys are going to say that I'm hating on, the quarterback situation with Matt Ryan, but Drew Brees is better than Matt Ryan. I think we could all agree with that, right? Even if you are a Falcons fan. Drew Brees is better than Matt Ryan. So more than likely, Michael Thomas, who just got a huge contract, is probably going to play very well. And he's probably going to be eligible for more upgrades. And he's probably going to be a little bit faster, sooner in month, right? Now, Julio Jones is a dog. And in my opinion, he's like, Matt Ryan has had some games where I thought he was Stevie Wonder. But again, listen, that's not what this is about, right? Let's go take a look at what it would cost us to actually power up Michael Thomas. Because remember, like I'm thinking, this is my thoughts, right? This is the trick that I wanted to tell you guys about. I don't really need to have both of them. I don't need two of those big body receivers because I'm going to have Torrey Holt, who kind of, he's 6 foot, but he does a lot of things and he has speed, right? Then I have Tyreek Hill. I only need one big body dude out there, dog. Like, I don't have to have Julio and Michael Thomas because both of them are on the slow end that I can use for like the underneath routes, the drags, the wheels, but I'm going to need at least one of them. So I don't need to have Julio and Michael Thomas. We can figure out which one together. Like, bruh, if we can go ahead and sell Julio Jones right now, even though, like I said, most of you guys be like, yo, Julio gonna get upgrades. He probably will. And he probably is gonna be really, really good, whatever. But Michael Thomas is not gonna be far behind because he's a very, very good receiver in the league. So he's gonna have opportunities to be able to do certain things. So look, it's $15K for his power up. All right. And you can see that people are not really jumping to buy it because he's slower. All right. Now, with him being like that, and then you see what happens with his core elite, right? Why would they make his core elite so expensive? And then another thing, I had the 84 to 85 overall power up pass, but I used it on Tyreek Hill. I just wanted to point that out. You see people are buying that for 77. It's a reason for that. Because they know, like I know, Drew Brees is a better quarterback, and more than likely he's going to be able to hit Michael Thomas wide open in the hands more often than Matt Ryan will be able to hit Julio Jones in the hands. It's just common sense, guys. Now, we look at this right here, and we go to Julio Jones, all right? Now, when we take a look at Julio Jones, you can see similar stuff, 3K up from the power up, and then his is going to be a little bit more because that's the only card that he has. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's a card that's a core elite, even though it's an 86. It's something that's not involved with anything free like Michael Thomas, so he's going to be a little bit more. Everybody knows you got to actually upgrade that Michael Thomas, so that's why this guy's price is like that. But look, this is a gamble, all right? This is a gamble. You're dealing with a card that pretty much if I decide to sell Julio and go Michael Thomas and just buy his core elite and build up Michael Thomas, I get a higher OVR right off the rip. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything that I'm doing, it's going to be something a little bit better. Plus, I believe that Michael Thomas is he's a better run blocker. And his catching stats are higher once he's chemmed up and everything like that. So with a lot of the things that are going into the game, realistically, if this was Madden 19, I would have quick sold him without even thinking about it. Now with the way that Madden 20 plays, I got to be smarter, guys. We have to change our thought process. Because if we stay stuck in that thought process of 19, we're going to lose a lot more games than we win. All right, so this is the situation. This is what I'm planning on doing. I'm thinking we sell Julio, all right? We sell Julio, keep Michael Thomas, and we gamble. That's what it is. That's going to be the ultimate thing. Now, depending on what actually happens with everything, like how it works out, I'm going to go ahead and bank on the fact that Michael Thomas has the better quarterback, so he has the better chance of actually being able to get the upgrades faster. That's my opinion. Look at the catching, right? Julio Jones is below the tier of the 85. Remember, I told you it goes 80, 85, and 90. Him getting powered up to a 90 catching, more often than not, he's going to catch that. He's a physical receiver. He's going to catch the ball a lot more often than Julio does, but just right now. You see what I'm saying? It's just right now. I want you guys to see it visibly because at first when they were telling me all about these attributes, I'm like, it's going to be the same thing. Dude's going to be doing whatever. I actually see a difference in the way that these guys run routes. And this is the first time that I've seen this since like maybe going back to like 25, where I've seen them actually cut differently. The routes are more sharp. And now I understand about the different thresholds and why, it's important to have a guy like this. Now, with the run block and stuff, he has a 44. They both have 44s. Pass block, Julio was better. Jumping, Julio has to be better. Julio was a dog and stuff like that. But remember, you're not losing the run block. They're both 6'3". You're just gaining certain parts and attributes within the card that makes him a better wide receiver right now with a higher OVR. The issue for me is it doesn't make any sense for me to keep both. Because at most, I would run a 4 wide receiver set. So it'll be Michael Thomas, Torrey Holt, Tyreek Hill, and Brandon Cooks, simply because of the speed factor right now. So technically, like, even if they were to release another Julio Jones, right? How fast would they possibly make it? Maybe 87, 88 speed, you know, sort of like what Jerry Rice is right now. But remember, with all the other attributes, they have to raise those as well. Michael Thomas is already there. And that's what I really want to get through you guys' head. Like, he's already there with a lot of the different things that we're looking for. So realistically speaking, if I take this route right now, which I am in no way gonna be that thirsty to sell this card for $670, neither should you. You see what I'm saying? Because I got my speedsters, Torrey Holt, I got Tyreek Hill. I can easily put Michael Thomas in the slot and create chaos right off the rip. Like, chaotic. And then if I want to get really, really crazy, or I need to get like a clutch play, I put him on the outside where I'm not really trying to burn somebody on a streak, but I want to hit him with like a curl route, hitch, drag, and I want to hit him with a possession catch. He's going to be more likely to come down with those than, you know, than Julio Jones. And those are just the things that I wanted to make sure that you guys really, really understand. Not only that, remember, it's one speed point slower right now, and they're pretty much the same receiver with, you know, higher route running for Michael Thomas. So because Julio Jones can get us coins right now, we would probably say, like, look, it's 118, right? That Julio's going for. So let's say we mathematically get that 118 and we got to buy the core elite for Michael Thomas, right? That's like about 70 something. So we're going to net, like, after tax, probably like 30K, all right? And then we got to still power him up. Now, once he's there in the lineup, that creates, we know what we're getting. You see what I'm saying? We know that when we throw the ball to him, more often than not, he's probably going to come down with it. Not only that, we have a 2-point, we're going to get a 2-point plus over yard because he's going to go to an 89. So now what's going to happen is once Torrey Holt gets maxed out at MUT level 50, you're dealing with a 90, 89, and 86. Now our team is growing while we're doing upgrades. And then we could always go back and say, you know what? Maybe we go back to Julio. But remember, EA Sports has always been jipping Julio on his speed. But that's not really the bigger issue here. The bigger issue is, remember, this is Madden 20. Once you get out in front, most of the time you're not getting tackled or caught anyway. So you just have to run routes where the guy can get out in front. And how do you get open in Madden 20? You got to have higher route running. You see what I'm saying? So either way, we can't lose. This is just a decision that I'm choosing to make based on the way that the game has changed. So that's ultimately what I'm going to want to do. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm probably going to get rid of Julio, you know, all of his cards, his power up, all that stuff, and then just go all in on Michael Thomas and just wait for upgrades. And then you got to just bank on the fact that Drew Brees is a better quarterback than Matt Ryan. You guys are going to argue with me about that, and then we'll see who's right. But those are some of the things that I wanted to share with you right now. So if you don't see Julio Jones in the next video and we do an upgrade, that's primarily what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going Michael Thomas. All right, guys? So I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you know, try to understand what I'm trying to put out there as far as the differences in the game before you make a decision, because all I want you guys to do is have the best possible team out there when you go out there. All right? Thank you guys and girls for watching. Be sure to subscribe, turn on your post notifications. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all at GmiasWorld. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.